when you're evaluating these early stage AI startups that you invest in, what are some of the non-obvious signs of product market fit that you look for? Or I guess even more generally, what are you looking for in those investments? How do you evaluate that the market is ripe for that particular type of AI in that particular application?
Yeah, you know what? Early stage is really a game of people. You back the founder when they're just or founders when they're just having their idea. Maybe they have some prototype or some product, but it's really a people bet, and they will go out there with their vision to change the world, and they will learn quite a lot, and that will result in pivots, micro and macro. And so, we can't say like, I don't think VCs are like genius market timers, right? I think, they can have a sense of that, but then also recognize that the founder will do what they need to do. And we really just look at investing in teams that can execute at sort of the speed of light and pivot however much they need to find a resonant point between what their offering is in the market, and then get to that um, great growth trajectory.
That makes a lot of sense, but then it begs of me it begs a similar kind of question, which is how do you then identify that kind of founder or that kind of founding team? I guess is there kind of I've had investors on in the past who have said that with AI startups, they typically look for this kind of three-legged stool of a CEO, which is somebody who's great at selling the idea, a CTO who obviously is highly technical, but then in an AI startup, you also have this AI expert who, where the CTO is maybe more concerned with platform scalability, reliability, those kinds of concerns. You have this third co-founder that is the AI expert at or near the cutting edge, like you described, Richard Socher or Chris Manning might be with their research. Does that kind of ring true to you as well in the teams that you're investing in?
And not I would say 100%. The way we think about it, we start by looking at the team and assessing two factors. One is AI nativeness, right? Do we consider this team to be quite deep in AI or not? And then market savviness or commercial savviness, right? Do they have expertise in this area? Do they have any right building into this market? And that's really where we focus, and then we ask ourselves, given a team and given where we think kind of that market landscape is, where will they need to improve, right? Like, it's never perfect. You don't find teams that are always optimally AI native and optimally commercial savvy. And so if you invest in a team that's more AI native and less commercial savvy, then the question is, how do you de-risk the commercial savviness with the team? Maybe that's advisors, et cetera. And then, I think when technological inflection points like we've seen with ChatGPT happen, what 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 the market, what happens in the market is you have a number of consensus applications that are now possible, right? Like, everyone knows that we should do like AI powered tutoring, and so everybody is like, well, let's build AI powered tutoring. But what you need to do there, we think, is invest in extreme AI native teams that can actually bring experiences to consumers that other teams just cannot. And as the years go on, and you start getting outside of this consensus driven investing, you go back into like the market savvy investing, where you don't need as much the AI native teams. Like, they'll still be very good, but it becomes more important to have a market insight that is non-consensus. And so, the way we think about it, if you think about SaaS investing, let's call it 5 years ago, SaaS investing, no, like, there wasn't a ton of differentiation on like the MCV stack. It's not like you're like, oh, right, like the model is like, the model technology is unique, the database is unique, or like the controller is unique, or the view is unique. It's all, Mongo, and right, like MySQL, and it's, in the middle, in the middle, where it's, let's call it Node.js, or Ruby, and then it's React or HTML, CSS, JS, um, and that's all commodity, right? It's just like, well, what's the idea? How are you going to configure? And AI will get there within the current framework of the technology. Now, if we have a new architecture come out that does replace transformers, then the game on again. Right now, a whole new set of consensus bets will be made against what that technology can create. But right now, I think what we're transitioning from, you really need AI native teams in a consensus in a consensus world, to you're going to start needing more market savvy teams in a non consensus world.
Right. That sounds like a great balance, and I guess I was being oversimplistic
Yeah,
in my kind of thinking of like, yeah, this is the kind of founding team. It makes perfect sense that obviously every situation is different.
yeah. And the last thing I'd add to that question, John, is this comment on like, do you need the AI expert on the team, right? So you have your CEO that's like, market savvy, and you have your CTO that's like builder, and then do you need this AI expert? And I've seen this on lots of teams, even my last team at Lilt. I think what the best way to orient a team is to have AI engineers, folks that can build very adeptly with the technology in production, that are also savvy enough to be reading the papers and understanding how the technology is changing and be able to integrate that into the stack. I don't think you need like a PhD that can just sit there and read papers. Ideally, your folks building in production are also savvy enough to read papers. Is kind of our take on it. Good news too, because AI PhDs are expensive.